darklings, lightlings, hybrids, and everyone in between. How are you? I saw the greatest thing ever. You guys know that I love to write, I love to tell stories, I love stories, and I love tarot. And when you merge the two together, something great happens. I saw this over on Marlene Teresa's channel, and I will have her link in the description. I thought this was brilliant, and it inspired me to use Oracle and Tarot to do little storytellings. So if you like this, I encourage you to create one yourself. Much love. Over the centuries, there are many stories told of fierce gods and goddesses, tales of their exploits and tales of terror alike. In a lot of ways, the gods were like humanity. They loved, they hated, they were vengeful, and they've killed. They indulged, they fought, and they had leadership and hierarchy. And they could die as well. Years have passed, and when the sky gods had all landed on Earth, they each took separate territories of the lands, creating their own races of beings called humans. The humans would divide into cultures, believing the stories and the information their gods would pass down to them, all of them equally as passionate in holding their beliefs sacred to their cultures. While they kept the gods' honor and sacredness and would sacrifice and do all of their bidding on earth, things started to get complicated when perfection was no more. The humans began to build civilizations of their own and explore and exceed all of the gods' expectation, creating abundance of life on earth. And word soon got out among lands as they began to explore that their gods were not the only gods. Seeing this as an issue, the messengers went back to the gods and told them what was happening and how the humans were beginning to battle between whose god was right and whose was wrong. The gods had an idea, at least in their perspectives, of how to balance this issue. They would have one dominate the entire populations of humanity and Earth and be worshipped alone. They would renew the belief systems and unite cultures among one. Of course, this doesn't go over well with the others, as they all wanted to rule or be the ruler, the all. Few argued against a battle wanting to keep the peace. The wisest of the gods argued against war among the gods. Some supported the wise ones. Others believed war was the only way and that the best would win, and the one who was worthy of ruling over all of humanity and earth would win, and war was the only answer. It wasn't long until a vicious and brutal war broke out amongst every pantheon of all the gods of earth and humans, fought long and hard in the clouds, slaying each other, spilling blood of the gods all over earth as it rained down on humanity. Each fought fiercely and bravely, none fearing death. The wisest of all the gods, and the one most fierce in battle, seen that this was getting them nowhere. Even though he loved a good battle, Odin likes wisdom more. So with the help of Freya, all of their Valkyries, and the sly one Loki, they had a great idea to end this war and solve all of their problems. Instead of battle, Odin told the Valkyries to go and restrain all of the other gods in the sky and hold them long enough to listen while Loki shapeshifted into a giant dragon, with Freya riding on his back and blowing a horn to catch all the other gods' attention. It didn't take them too long, but quite a few moments passed before they started listening and laying their arms down. Wise Odin explained to them that they are infinite. So why were they fighting when they could share the domination over Earth throughout ages? They could set up certain times that they would rule and be known as the great king of the universe during that age. The dragon Loki was on standby just in case anybody refused this wise and reasonable offer. Very few declined. Just about all of them accepted this, and they began to talk about their plans for the future in the ages. Each would have a specific area in the sky and a planet, or a great and sacred representation in the sky for all of humanity to gaze upon. This way, every god could rightfully be honored during their age of astronomy and astrology. The gods had much arranging to do and had to create systems and agendas in order to push this over the ages through generation and generation. They put the elemental priestesses in charge of the four corners of the world: the high priestess of earth, the high priestess of spirit represented the gods, the high priestess of water would guard over the waters, the high priestess of fire, and the high priestess of air. Together, they alone would see that the ages shifted appropriately at their appointed time and hours. Though the years between ages were long to the humans, it was just a blink of an eye to the gods and the elements. As time went on, the gods started to notice something they didn't anticipate, and had no idea who was responsible. But a 13th, incarnated as a human on earth, was now at their doorstep, among humanity, and had a long journey to go on. And the gods feared this. For this one, the 13th, was so powerful that he could rule as one god, even over the collective of the gods, and destroy their new system in place. This 13th did not know it yet, thinking they're only mere mortal, but soon, through his journey, would find his destiny.